Let's assume in this presentation that you have created the template file like we did in the Creating Template File Captivate video, and now we want to do some modifications to that. For instance, maybe the layers were the wrong name or the wrong color or the wrong line type, or you had the wrong text style. Just so that if you're starting with a template file and you have these changes, you don't have to make them at the beginning of every single drawing. You can go back and modify the template drawing so it would be correct, so you start with a correct file to begin with. So how do you change or modify an existing template file? First you'd have to open that template file. So I go File, Open. Then you'd have to find where is it placed. Remember, I placed mine, yours is probably in your folder, but I placed mine under C drive in my CAD 120 file. And right there it was the floor plan template -48.dwt. Now I'm working, if you look up here at the title bar, it's the floor plan template -48.dwt file. I'm working in the original template file. Any changes I make here and save will be saved with the template file, so when you start a new drawing based on that template, it would have the changes already made in it. I'm going to go to my layers. I'm just going to make a few quick changes in here that you'd be noticeable. Typically names are not a big deal, but I'm going to change the names just so that they're noticeable and you can see the changes that are being made. But I'll change fixtures to just fix. I'll change symbols to sims and dimensions into dims. I'll also change the color of sims to, let's make it green instead of yellow. Go up to the dimensions, let's make the line types 0.15. I'm going to say apply and OK. So I've made those changes to the layers that you can see then that those changes would be saved. So I picked something simple, but literally it could be anything. Maybe you want to change the limits, maybe you want to change the units, if you want to change the grid setup. That would be another noticeable one. I'll go to Grid, Settings. I'll change this to 24 or 2 feet. And I'll change my snap spacing to 12 or 1 foot. And I'll say OK. Okay, so the grid is noticeably different. Now when I go to save, now I've saved that on the template file. I can close this file, and I have another drawing open, the drawing 4. I'm just going to close that also. And then I'm going to go to File, New, and I'm going to say Use a Template, so that's already picked or selected right there. I'm going to browse to find the file that I was working with. I go to C, CAD 120, and in there is a floor plan template -1-48. I'm going to base it on that template file. Now when I open it up, notice at the top here, it does not say that I'm working in the floor plan template -48 file. I'm working in just drawing 5. So it started a new drawing, but instead of being from scratch, it's using that template. So you can see that I have all the layers here, and the layers have the changes already made in them. Like fixture layer is just FIX, it's not fixtures. If you look at the symbols, it's just sims and it's green instead of yellow. The grid is the larger grid spacing. So I would just start drawing a house on this template now, and if I go to File, Save, it forces me to call it something else. It's not drawing 5, what do you want to save it as? And I can go ahead and save that as anything I want. If I want to call it the Smith House maybe, and I'll say 05, I'll save to my CAD files, and I'll hit Save. Now notice at the title bar, I'm working in the Smith House drawing, and I'd start drawing my house. When I'm done, I'd save it as that file name. The most important thing when modifying a template file is to make sure that you keep in mind that you need to open that template file. And remember, template files always end with a .dwt. So you find that template file as a DWT, you open it, make your changes, save it, close it, then go to start a new file based on that template file and continue from there. If you have any questions regarding template files, be sure to contact me. Otherwise, this will wrap up the presentation for modifying template files.